Most of us aspire to get a good job, enjoy our spare time, and retire in comfort. And then there are the outliers. People doing weird and wonderful things and ignoring the whole system. This series is about pursuing dreams against all odds and with great success. It's about why some people choose no ordinary life. When you think of fine carving, it's not often that the word chainsaw pops up, but that's exactly how Jay McKay rolls. He's a chainsaw artist, and when you see the gorgeous detail of his work, you would never believe it. From whimsical fairy houses to deeply meaningful memorial sculptures, Jay's work takes you to the most unexpected places. The story behind each piece is unique, but two things remain consistent. Jay is certainly living no ordinary life, and he gets to use a chainsaw every day.
I'm an artist, through and through. So an artist's personality sometimes can be a little bit more, eccentric. I always knew from the time I was 5 years old that, I was gonna make art. I was gonna create stuff out of wood someday. I grew up on the South Shore, and my father was a wood carver as well. He carved decoys and walking sticks, and he made knives. So, I was introduced to carving, pretty much from the time I can remember almost. I was at the job site one day, and the boss handed me a chainsaw because we had to cut down a tree that was in the way for the development. During the lunch break that day, I took the chainsaw and I carved a bear in the stump. So everybody was like, "What? This guy just took a chainsaw and carved a bear in the stump." And then it got me thinking, like, why am I doing this job? So I took a pretty serious, bold leap, and I started sculpting again. And it just slowly progressed over the course of a year into, I left the job, I retired from it, and now I do it full time. Wood is just something that I love. So it's like, it's a passion. I like wood. It's an organic material, and it's easy to sculpt and create with. And it's beautiful. I mean, there's more, it's naturally beautiful on its own most of the time, right? So I've had an interesting life. I'm an alcoholic, and I've dealt with it. So a part of my story that I share on my Facebook page is about addiction and mental health awareness. So I quite publicly share those struggles with people because I think it's something that people don't do enough, is talk about it. So I do, I'm a little bit of an advocate there, and I'm not perfect. I still have my own struggles. In the end, I can tell you art has saved me. Art definitely saved me, and creating this art now is definitely something that is continuously saving me. Living here in Hubbard, St. Margaret's Bay, it's a beautiful spot, and a good percentage of my clients are from this area, and of course, nautical themed sculpture is one of my favorite things to make, from octopuses to, I just did a stingray, a manta ray, seahorses, jellyfish. I mean, I love those nautical lobsters. On a day when I come in here in the morning, I just, I enjoy my own art maybe as much as other people enjoy it. So just coming in and seeing all the pieces that you created and being proud of the fact that, oh, yesterday I did that. Yesterday I painted that. The most enjoyable thing about being an artist for me is other people's reactions to the art. I've been really blessed with people wanting to have a piece of my art.
Hold on! This is not the woods.
Hi there.
Hi. Brought my chainsaw.
It doesn't have a battery.
I did forget the battery.
Oh, well,
I was hoping you might have one to lend.
I have a few chainsaws.
Okay, first of all, Jay, what are we doing on the side of the highway?
So this is the Peggy's Cove intersection, and this is where I do all my chainsaw sculpting. And I've been doing it here for about 5 years.
Okay.
Well, maybe we could do a little chainsaw carving. So,
Let's just back this up a little.
well, there's a whole array of different saws. So,
Oh, now I like the look. This one is smaller than the
so this is
chainsaws I'm
a
used to
small
seeing.
saw. It's actually called an arborist saw.
Okay.
But on it is a little tiny pointy chainsaw carving bar. And
So that's an actual tool, like a chainsaw carving tool that they
yes,
sell?
so this is specifically for carving.
Okay.
And that's about as small of one. There's different sizes, but that's about as small of one as you can get. And then you use a bigger saw, progressively bigger. This is a medium size saw for doing the blocking cuts and removing most of the material.
Okay. Who is this little cutie then?
So this is a raccoon that is, he'll be standing up with his paws hanging out, looking for a treat, I guess. But he's, you know, this is just getting into the start of it, really. I've only got a short period of time into it so far. So I'm just starting to find the face and the neck and the fur, and then, you know, start to add some fur and texture.
It's already looking totally alive and like full of personality.
It's a start, yeah. Still quite a ways to go, but it's definitely a good start.
How do you start? I'm seeing some markings on there.
So sometimes I mark with a lumber crayon, and sometimes I don't. It really depends. Like, you know, like right now I'm looking at his little arm here, and I know that I'm going to put a bunch of heavy texture cuts in, and then eventually we'll find his little paws here. And this chainsaw is the detail saw.
Detail one, yeah.
And you'll also notice a lot of people that don't know chainsaw carving always like to point out how loose,
yeah, it really
how
looks
loose your chain is.
Yeah.
And with these, there's no sprocket on the tip, and it's a lot of friction. So you have to keep the chain that loose.
Okay.
So on a conventional chainsaw, it would not look like that. If you want to try it,
I do.
I'll get it started, and I'll show you. And I'll take the chain brake off for you, and you're going to hold it like this.
Yeah.
And you're just going to see those lines. You're more or less just going to take the tip of the bar. You're not going to try to push hard, or you're not going to, like, there's no force involved. And you just literally just let the saw do the cuts. And kind of just, it's almost like you're brushing.
Yeah, that's right. That's what it looked like. Like you were just gently kind of combing out the hairs. That's so cool.
Okay.
Okay, wait, hold on. Does that look better now?
There you go.
Okay. Cool.
Over here.
Okay, I think I'm good.
All right. Brake on.
Okay.
Saw off.
What a rush. Woo! So, okay, after you are diving in and you've got it down to the level where you've got some hairs where you want it and everything, and I hope, are those hairs where you wanted them?
That's
We
pretty
did
good.
okay?
Yeah, that's a good start.
What comes next?
So once it's obviously not there, but
Yeah,
once
yeah.
it's chainsaw carved, then I take it to the studio, and that's where I dry them, and then that's where you sand them and detail them. And my studio is down in Howard's.
I want to touch everything inside it. It feels like the kind of art that you just want to have your hands on. We've done the rough carve.
So yeah, after the chainsaw portion of the sculpture, which, you know, it always happens at the Peggy's Cove intersection, then I load them on the truck and I bring them to the shop. Typically I dry them for quite a while before I start finishing. So this piece was chainsaw carved. I do believe I did this about 6 months ago now.
Oh, she's been drying that long,
Yeah,
6 months, wow.
So when you're doing some things, I can do the progression on a little quicker than others. But when you're getting into something where you're going to hand carve a face, you want dry wood. And now I'm just at that stage where I'm going to start to slowly, you know, bring the face to life, which is obviously the trickiest part of this sculpture. And then of course the hands will be also quite detailed. And she's going to be listening into a seashell. So,
oh, that's okay.
yeah.
I see.
So that's essentially when it's done. That'll be the look. When I get to this stage, I use a bunch of different tools. I use Dremels and angle grinders and die grinders. I got a whole array of bits that I use, and chisels, all different chisels.
Yep.
And a mallet, detail and stuff. You know, you can't do that with a chainsaw.
No.
So you have to get into some more different tools to really bring the piece to life. This is a V tool.
Okay.
So sometimes I use that.
You just go right in there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just to kind of get, that's just for definition.
Yep.
Or doing hair or something like that. But if you want to really take off some wood, then you grab a mallet and a gouge, and you just start chipping away.
Oh, you're just going in there.
So we definitely want
Wow.
more off of her forehead yet, but we'll get there.
You're just diving in so like with so much confidence that it's surprising to me. Normally, I very much would be like, oh, I want to get my hands dirty. Will you show me how? But I'm terrified to ask because, I mean, what an investment. 6 months of is there a piece of wood that maybe I could just try a little chiseling and just see how difficult this is?
You really can't hurt it.
I feel like I can hurt it.
So all you do is you hold the chisel.
Yeah. Okay.
And then it takes a long time to get used to the not looking at the mallet.
What about a little bit on the back?
So whatever hand you feel comfortable holding the chisel with.
Okay, that'll be neither, but let's go for it. Okay.
Yep. So yeah, hold it like that. And
Okay, you guide it here for me
you
then.
give her some taps. There you go, you're carving.
Wow. Oh my goodness. And it comes off really easily.
Sharp tools are very important.
Yeah. And pine is a softer wood,
Pine's
right?
fairly soft, so
Yeah.
it does carve easy.
How am I doing?
Well, you're making some chips.
Am I hired?
Yeah.
Do you want me to sign the bottom of it? It's already speaking right through the wood, isn't it?
Yeah. So this is all chainsaw except the face so far, right? So
This was all just the chainsaw too?
everything is the chainsaw, the hair, everything, yeah.
That is unbelievable, Jay. I have learned so much today from you.
Good.
You're a real inspiration. I did not know what to expect when Jay took me into his wondrous world of chainsaw carving, but what a beautiful place it turned out to be. And now we're going to meet another wood carver who takes his art in a very different direction. Pat Jarvis makes African drums, and his process is so delicate and his carvings are so intricate that I'm not expecting to be able to do any of that myself. But I am hoping for a little drum lesson. Because nope, that is not one of those things that I am secretly good at. See?
My journey to drum making started September the 28th, 2004. And I remember that day because I'm an alcoholic and that's the same day I quit drinking. Same day that I quit drinking, I was invited to an African drum circle. So I went and fell in love with drums. The next day I went to work on my first one. Got into drums and I haven't had to have a drink since. I've been wood carving since I was, 12 or 13 years old. So when the time came for me to try making a drum, I had some tools and I had some knowledge, so I just shifted from what I was carving to drums, and it's been that way ever since. My soul is in the drums are in my soul. It was like I went from a world where everything around me was chaos to it's sort of all just settling into place and making sense for the first time. I guess it's just a good energy that comes in and sort of takes over. Out back at the house where the trees began, that was my playground. We used to go out there, play hide and seek amongst the trees, just run back and forth. We had all different kinds of games. We could make up games. And then 1,500 feet back of the house is the Sissebu River, so all summer long, on a really hot day, go jump in the river, have a good swim, and then come back, and then we'd finish up doing chores. When you've got a bunch of 12, 14-inch drums, they start taking up space. A friend suggested that I could maybe sell them. They said they would take some and try it, and they took a few of my drums with them on the thing they were doing, and they sold a couple. And all of a sudden I had a direction in life. One of the things I found with life is it should always be like going to school. Always keep learning. So I keep learning things. I belong to a couple of groups on Facebook that deal with African drums. There are a lot of guys there with more experience than I have, and people doing new things, and oh, I think I could try that too. And the kind of community that it is there, we feel free to share what we have learned and what we are learning with others, and then we just basically pass our knowledge around because somebody shared it freely with me. So I pay it forward, and as they say, what goes around comes around.
You're telling me that the drums are made from one solid hunk of trunk?
Yes. Like I would start like with something like this. I would probably start like, well, I would cut it off here and then use that for firewood, but then I would start with like here, come up to the length of the drum, cut that off, load it up, take it home, and then using a chainsaw, I would cut the excess off the outside and then hollow the inside.
Well, can you show me the next step?
Okay.
Whoa, so this is after you have taken your chainsaw to the tree and treated it very kindly.
Well, you can see the marks where the...
Wow, so this is all chainsaw work?
Yes, it is.
Well, that is some very fine work with a very big saw. That's years of experience, isn't it?
Yeah, 50 plus years.
50 plus.
Since I learned to carve. My father taught me to carve with a chainsaw.
So where do you go from there then?
So from there, like I've already smoothed some of this on the outside. So what I'll do next is take some of the inside and get some of the rough off. And we've got a line there.
I've never seen a tool like this before. What's that called?
This is a gouge. It's a carving gouge that I made.
You made this?
Yeah, because
That's so cool.
this is a store-bought carving gouge.
Yeah, okay.
Standard length. And this...
Can I hold this?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, and this is what I made because I wanted the extra length.
Is it the kind of thing that I could just try to see how it feels?
Yes.
I'll be really careful if you show me how to do it. So just a little tap? I'm gonna try not to be insulted that you have a practice board and we're not going straight to the real deal here.
Well, with enough practice, you could graduate to this.
How do we start?
Well, you pick something that you would like to try to carve, and then we start with a picture.
Okay, so you're asking me to draw as well as carve.
That's the way it works.
Okay. Any requests?
I don't know. Now, do you have any ideas at all?
I mean, I like birds. Should we do a bird?
Well, you can try.
What?
Drawing a picture first.
That does not sound very confident. Here, look at this. It's more symbolic of a bird. How's that?
Okay.
You're not impressed?
No, that's a good start.
Okay, great.
So, for this, you'd start here and push it straight down. And because you've got the similar there, just push it straight down.
Okay, so that's getting the corners, basically? Okay. Oh, hard? Didn't even make a dent.
Yeah, it did.
Pat. It did?
Yeah.
Okay. There. All right, same here.
Yeah.
If I had known this was going to be...
So now, you would go from here out to here, or from here this way.
So what is your favorite part about the job?
Pretty much equal on all the phases until it comes to the point where the drum is fully finished and I can actually play it. And then that's when that biggest joy and the biggest sense of accomplishment.
And are you always the first person playing a drum that you've made?
Yep.
What is the difference between the different types of skins? What are you looking for each drum?
I guess the main difference would be the sound. Different skins usually have different thicknesses and different textures. Deer skin and sheepskin are also known for being stretchy, like they keep stretching for a long time, whereas a goat skin, you pull the stretch out of it in the first little bit and then you're good to go.
So that's a good thing,
Yeah.
non-stretchy.
Yeah.
Okay.
And a cow skin, most cow skin can be very thick. And moose skin is extremely thick. Now, on a drum made specifically for bass, a moose skin would work. But if you wanted high notes, a moose skin is way too thick. And for cow skin, same thing. Most cow skin is only suitable for a bass drum because of the thickness. Oh, and it also depends on where they come from, because cow skins in North America are a lot thicker than cow skins in Africa or, say, Pakistan.
Okay. Do you have any skins lying around that I could take a look at?
Well, I have a Holstein over here I'm ready to stretch.
Can we take a look?
Sure.
Oh, is that it right there?
Yes, that's it.
Wow, that looks... Oh. Oh.
Oh, you might want that.
Oh. I think I'll be fine if I just stay upwind. Wow, so that is a whole cow?
No, that's 1/4.
That's a quarter cow. So you're cutting the holes, hooking it, and then how are you gonna stretch it?
I'll take the rope and I'll go like from here, under, to here, back, up and over.
So that allows you to pull it tight at the end?
Yeah.
And how long does it stay on the stretcher?
Well, it stays on the stretcher until it dries.
How long is that, Pat?
Thick hide, so it takes a while for it to dry.
Well, as much fun as this is, do you think we might retire to somewhere where the air smells a little sweeter? Yeah, we could try some music.
Of course.
Yeah. Two things strike me about Pat and Jay. They've both taken a fairly basic skill or craft and elevated it into an art form. And they're both fairly solitary people who use their creative expression to connect with the world. I personally always dreamt of being one of those artists that works away on something all by myself and then presents something amazing to the world. But who would I talk to all day?